Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Well, where I am in Oklahoma and a big swath of Arkansas and other places are getting a lot of snow right now. We have been preparing here at Cedar Creek all day, getting some baking done. I can use, if our power was to go out, I can use my stovetop by lighting it with a lighter or matches or whatever, but my oven will not work. So we've been busy today baking bread and baking some treats that we could have along with our meals. And I'm sorry, you guys, I don't have a fire going behind me. That is the steam from the dryer. Hopefully that doesn't bother us too bad. But anyway, I wanted to set out here. The snow has started to really come down, and it's taking it a while to make any kind of show, but it's here now and it's coming down. It started as rain. Those out west of us have gotten several inches now, and we're just kind of getting started in the game, but it is beginning to build on the trees a little bit. This is a heavy wet snow, so I'm looking forward tomorrow to to watch little Howie and see how he reacts to the snow. We had a little bit of snow last year back in February, and have had some snow here in December, but it wasn't any kind of snow. It was a dry snow, and this snow is supposed to be perfect for snowmen and snow balls and all of the different fun. I don't imagine he'll stay out for very long. You know how kids are, you get them all bundled up and they're out and they're right back in, and he's just a little baby, but I want to see the joy and the excitement on his face, and I am enjoying watching the snow fall myself. I love it. This is the kind of snow that yes, you have to be careful driving and all of that stuff, but there's no ice. They haven't put any kind of warnings for ice, at least for us, and so that will be better. And to be honest, I don't have to go out anywhere now. I will say that yesterday or tomorrow we're supposed to have I have a procedure scheduled at the hospital, but I've already talked with them, and they said that if I couldn't make it for my appointment, my check-in time, to call them and let them know that I wouldn't be there. And I will tell you that it is something that I wasn't really looking forward to. Not that anybody does. There's nothing wrong with me. I've shared this with you before. It's a colonoscopy that is scheduled, and I'm at the right age for a colonoscopy. But I had to start having colonoscopies at a younger age, by the time we were 40. I'm 52 now, because of my family history. My grandpa had issues. My dad had to have some of his colon removed, and so because of that, my dad's surgeon wanted all of my dad's children to start testing when they were 40 years old. So I've had the colonoscopies before, and you know how it is. You have to get used to that big jug of stuff they bring out for you to drink. And I'm a sipper anyways. It takes me forever to get through it, and I wasn't looking forward to it. And then I had some people say, oh honey, it's changed since you've had your last one. They give these little drinks now, and you can choose your flavor. Well, not where I went. They didn't give me the option. I had to do the big thing. So today was the day that I was supposed to go down to the pharmacy and get my prescription bottle of stuff to drink. But I told Cheyenne, I said, if I see one snowflake, I am not going to start drinking that stuff. I was supposed to start drinking it at 4 this afternoon. And anyway, that's one benefit. I can put the colonoscopy off for a little while. Now, in all seriousness, a colonoscopy is something that you should, you know, if your doctor is suggesting that you have it done, if you have a family history, a colonoscopy and them finding polyps and removing them is better for you if they can catch it early. And so I'm not trying to get anybody not to have a test. I'm just saying I'm thankful that I can prolong it just a little bit longer, just probably till next month. But anyway, that's the benefit for me. But I wanted to remind everybody that's in the path of the snow that hopefully, what we did today was make sure that all of our laundry and all of our dishes were clean, and also making sure that our batteries were in our. I've got battery powered lanterns, and I've got candles, and I've got kerosene lamps, and those, of course, I have to be careful and put them up high so little Howie can't get to them. He's crawling like a monkey, and he can get to some of that stuff. You always want to make sure also that you have a fire extinguisher available. We have one under our sink in our kitchen and other areas too, so that if there was an emergency arise with them, we would be able, we would be able to get the fire extinguished. Now, something else, we have to take into consideration if our power was to go out. A generator, a lot of people have generators. A lot of people have the Generac generators, and others that are whole house generators, and you don't even have to worry about it. It, comes on when your power goes off. And that's what I'm looking forward to in the future, that I one day might be able to get one of those. But for right now, we have generators and gas powered generators, and you always need to know how to run those and how to run them safely. Don't put them in an area that doesn't have good ventilation. Never put them in your house. You can cause sickness and fatalities for doing that. So always know the safety precautions of the things that you have. We have a bag of kitty litter here. We don't have any kitties, but we do have kitty litter, and we've got salt so that our porch steps and our sidewalks can be salted down so that there's not any falls. Having been one of those persons that has fallen before on my tailbone and had a pretty painful injury, falling on your tailbone or breaking your hip or whatever is not something that you want to mess with, especially when the roads are nasty and might prolong help getting to you. Now, I will tell you that our weather guy said that this is the kind of snow, thick, wet, heavy snow that they call heart attack snow, and so that caught my attention when he said that. This is the kind of snow that's really, really heavy when you figure per square foot, and people get out and they try to shovel their snow, and they overexert themselves. And even people that are in really good health, it's not just those that are a little plumper than we should be, or a little older, or have a condition. Those that are in good health can overexert themselves before they realize it, trying to shovel out in the snow because of it being the type of snow that it is, and can actually cause people to have heart attacks and possibly pass away. So always take breaks and shovel what needs to be shoveled in in the time that you have. I told Cheyenne that I couldn't hardly wait to get me a snowball. This is supposed to be really good snowball, a snow, and I couldn't wait to get a snowball made to get it blade with it. And then I second guessed myself because he would return the favor, and that boy of mine does not know his own strength. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just be kind and watch him play in the snow and watch how he and his daddy and mama build a snow in, and I'll take care of Rowdy from a safer distance. With all of the snow and this winter back in 2022 and this so far in 2023, we've actually had a little bit of a winter. In times past, for quite a few years before Howie passed away, and then the years since he's passed away, we didn't get any snow. We didn't have had really mild winters, but since he passed away, we've had in 2021 and 2022 we've had pretty good big snows and really sharp weather conditions and temperatures in the month of February. And I know the year that Texas got all that freezing nasty stuff, we did as well. And last year in February we got a snow, and Blade was off on a job, him and Cheyenne and Howie, and I was here, and I went down and stayed with Tex and Terry. I never lost power, but I still went down there and stayed with them because it was icy and snowy and nasty, and you know, I was just going to be up here by myself. So I went down there and we played dominoes, and we had, you know, we had fun fellowshipping. But during that cold snap, I lost 3 cats. I had one that was smothered. They all of them, you know, laying around and staying warm, mamas and babies. I had one get smothered. I had one that right after it was born, it was a first-time mama, and she had the baby. It looked healthy, but it didn't make it. And I had one that was just beautiful. It was so pretty. And hours after it was born, it was up and moving around, prancing around, following after its mama, and it got over close to the pond and slipped and fell in the pond. And there wasn't anything that we could do. The conditions were just so bad that we did lose it. So you know, sometimes the weather can play havoc on farmers, just like it is with those that have to drive to their jobs. Farmers are out running their machinery, putting hay and feed out to their animals, and walking across the property to get to their small livestock, their chickens and rabbits and whatever else they have. And you know, so there's precautions to take. Now last year I had a sweet subscriber send me some of those little I forget what they're called, but they go on your feet, and they have little spike, and so that you can stay up on your feet and walk around. And you know, I talked last year about being prepared for stormy, nasty, snowy, icy weather, and I had all my preparations. I thought all my ducks in a row, and I forgot about having something for my feet. Now I had rubber boots and wool socks and all that kind of stuff, but I never even gave it any thought about it was going to be icy and would need something that I could stand up safely. And bless her heart, she sent it to me so nicely now, and I appreciated that. So there's lots of things to consider with storms, and it's times like these that you can definitely test yourself and see where you are in your preparations, just like not having those stud things to go over my shoes. You can find out where your weaknesses are. Sometimes we find out where our weaknesses are in our very weakest and vulnerable moments. And I just don't want that to happen to you guys. I have talked a long time about making sure this time of year that you have plenty of blankets and afghans and quilts, whatever it is. You know, if your heat was to go out, your electric was to go out, if you're, you know, whatever way it is that you heat your home, if you have issues with that and you don't have any kind of backup heat, you want to make sure that you have plenty of blankets and quilts. Put socks on your feet. If our electricity went out, we would still have means to stay warm, because we do have a small gas stove that we can use, a wall heating stove that we can use. Others have wood. But we have multiple resources. And one thing they say that you can do is, if you find yourself with no heat at all, no way to safely add any heat in the middle of a snowstorm, you can get in a room that's your warmest room. Put up a tent. I know it sounds silly, but put up a tent. Make it a game for your kids. That you're camping, they're going, you know, that you're going to camp. You know, maybe you have a gas cook stove and you can pop popcorn. Show them how to pop popcorn without having to rely on that microwave popcorn. That sounds silly, but you know, Blade, just a few years ago, I made some popcorn on the stove, and he was amazed because he always had microwave popcorn. Howie loved the movie theater popcorn. The butter flavored popcorn made in the microwave, but it definitely wasn't healthy for him, for any of us really. And after he had his open heart surgery, he cut those things out. And so how Blake got to experience having popcorn popped on the stove. That's the only way that my dad pops it. He has a certain brand that he loves very well. Some of my very earliest memories are of my dad on Saturday nights popping popcorn and playing games with us kids, and him and my stepmom, they were really good at that. And so pop some popcorn, do some fun things like that, and make the experience that you guys are going through, make it pleasant for the kids. Maybe they don't have to know, if you're struggling and you're putting a tent up just to be able to keep warm. Maybe they just know that it's an adventure. As I told you at the beginning of the video, I've spent the day today baking. I'm pooped, to tell you the truth. I've baked sandwich bread, and I've made cinnamon rolls, and I've made other treats for the family, getting ready to make a big pan of cornbread. Blake's going to make a big pot of chili. He thinks his chili is the best, and it's pretty good, so he's going to make the chili. And we've got other recipes coming up the rest of the week that'll keep us warm. That's something else that you can do, is make some things that if you're able to cook, and if you lose power and you're still able to cook, try to make some soups and some things that would be really nourishing and warm up your bodies. Even ramen noodles will warm you up. Tomato soup will warm you up. Things that are heated, soups and stews. Now, I'm telling you to fix stew. I don't like stew, but so it's always good to have some go-to recipes when you're having to just use your stovetop to cook. If you was able to prepare ahead of time like we have today, and have some stuff ready so that it would go along with whatever you're cooking on your stovetop. You can make pancakes and eggs and bacon. There's all kinds of things that that you will be able to cook and to enjoy with your family. Now, we live in a rural area and on a dirt road, and there are no snowplows that come out on our road, so a lot of times the roads in town and the county roads have to get better before we can get out, because we're on this dirt road, and that's just the way it is. Living rural, we love it. Thankfully for us, with this go around of snow, it is going to, I think the lowest temperature during this snowstorm for us in the overnight hours is supposed to be in the 20s. That's doable for us. We can make it through it. But remember, if remember to leave your water dripping in your bathrooms and in your kitchen so that your water doesn't freeze. That's another, know where your water shutoff is at if there's an emergency, especially when the water thaws. Know where those water shutoffs are so you can get that water shut off and you don't have a big mess to deal with on top of everything else. One other thing I'll tell you is in and out with the snow, checking the animals and letting, going out to play. Blade and Cheyenne likes to go sledding, and I don't know if they will this year. Cheyenne's got her little sisters here visiting, and they may sled. I don't know, but there's always clothes, socks and gloves and hats and all of that. And especially if your power is out, you have no way really to dry it. And I have a folding drying rack that I keep right by my front door. Put a towel down, and they just hang those things on there and let them dry. We have at times, if they were too wet, set that thing over in the bathtub and let it drip in there, and everything turns out fine. So guys, I'm going to close for today. I know I've rambled on and probably told you things that you already know, but my biggest thing besides being careful, being out in the weather, is making sure that you're careful with the way you heat and the way you cook. Make sure that you have good ventilation. Don't bring your grill in the house. We have our gas grill, and Blake's got one of those Blackstone griddles. They're outside in a well-ventilated area. There's not adequate ventilation for that, and you don't want a tragedy on top of everything else. So until next time, guys, this is Josie. I love you guys. Here I am in the middle of a big snow, and we've looked well to the ways of our household. Well, I hope if you're in the path of this snow that you've got your milk and your bread, your eggs and your toilet paper. It seems like that's what everybody runs to the store and gets, and probably chips and stuff like that, so they don't have to cook. But we thankfully, because we prep, I was able to go into my own personal stores, make sure that we had plenty of toilet paper, and we were able to get, I made the bread and we had eggs. Now, we did have to get extra milk, and we did that yesterday because we knew weather was coming. We got milk because Howie drinks milk, and we needed to make sure that he had enough. But Cheyenne's got was stocked up on her diapers and all of those things. I prepared for the dogs and the cows, and so we can sit back and enjoy the beauty of the snow without being fearful that we have to get out in it. And I'll reschedule that colonoscopy for another day. Till next time, guys, this is Josie. I love you guys, I really do. Be careful out there in the weather and try to enjoy. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. And until next time, we're gone.